what I've been doing is talking about how hot I am now that I have a haircut.
Oh, God.
And it's been a lot of fun to adopt a completely different personality.
Somebody told Mike that he was a good-looking guy.
Boom. And that's all you need. I
but
don't
he's
care.
married.
Yeah. That's the down. There's the guy, but he's married. Yuck.
He's a hot comedian.
I'm a hot comedian.
Oh, he's married.
And that's why people don't really even hear what I say, because it's coming out too hot of a head.
Welcome to our podcast. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Emotionally exhausting morning.
Yeah, it's been, right?
Here's what we've done so far. 1,
Wake up.
wake up.
2, have coffee.
Have coffee.
3,
Wished
Shower.
someone a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Shower. 3, 4, happy birthday.
happy birthday.
And then we found some kittens in a bush,
Yeah.
and we've been trying to figure out what to do with them.
We got him a little bit of wet food. And
You hear that weed whacker outside right now?
yeah.
He's chopping them up.
No, don't
No,
say that.
It's not, but
Don't say that.
I did think about saying that. I specifically advised the guy not to chop them up.
You don't say it.
Well, now I'm getting kind of mixed messages.
Don't chop up the kittens.
It's important to not chop up the kittens.
Don't chop up the kittens.
So I am going to think about that now when I hear it.
Now I'll never unhear that.
Well, we could just pretend we didn't say it and go on with the show. Welcome to our podcast. Welcome to the podcast. This is a show. I feel like I'm ultra low. Am I ultra low?
I just turned you up. I just turned myself up a little bit.
Oh, here we go. And I'm turning myself up.
There it is.
And maybe we should just start it over so that
no.
the show is tolerable.
It's not.
Oh, we were kind of talking over the music, so I guess it'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is a show where a comedian and a hairdresser discuss your relationships with stuff. You write in with your questions. We've gotten great questions over the past couple weeks. Thank you to everyone who has submitted, both here and on our community number that you could text. And also bonus, find out about upcoming shows and stuff like that. 818-722.
8682.
8682.
I think.
Man, am I close to memorizing that number.
818-722-8682.
Right?
Yeah.
Great.
Do you have any questions on there right now?
Not at the moment. I did last week.
Uh-huh.
I think one of our questions from last week came. Also, we got like a relationship update from someone who was asking us questions about.
I would love to hear the update.
It went great.
Huh. Wait, what question was it?
I'll
for?
find it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You know, you always
guys-
say, "Are you ready to start the podcast?" And I
Yeah.
always say yes.
Yes, and you never are.
And I don't know that that is ever right.
Wait, can we talk about the little kittens real quick?
Found it. But yeah.
Oh, I was like, is it one? I was like, is it multiple? I'm like, is it in the tree? And Mike was like, no, it's in a house. And then we started to walk back into the house, and there were smows. They're just tinies.
They're tiny smells.
Yeah, and then I was trying to feed the mom because she needs to feed the babies if she's still feeding them. Oh no, it's a mess.
And she had flabby tummy.
Yeah.
She had old person underarms. But it was her stomach. And she was maybe going to kill something to bring to the children. Or maybe leaving forever.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't know how they work, really. I'm not a cat person.
My mom
but
was
I also,
like...
What?
Because I sent like the video that I had sent, or that I had taken.
Yeah.
And my sisters are like, put them in the spare bathroom tub and keep them in there. And then my mom side texts me. She's like, don't take them in. Your house is going to smell.
Dude. And it's important to get every side of the argument before you. Dude, we called like 9 places.
Why is everyone
all of them are either closed or at capacity.
Yeah.
And she was like, either take them in or put them on next door and get somebody else to take them in.
Yeah.
Stranger.
I'll post on Nextdoor. I haven't posted on Nextdoor in a minute.
We have to go check on them after
we podcast.
I did give them fucking fancy feasts. So they are
fancy.
of all the abandoned cats, they are
and feasting.
Yes. They are the debutantes of the abandoned cats at the moment.
Yeah.
The envy of the neighborhood in the bush.
Yeah. That's,
Anyway,
yeah,
welcome to
I'm
the show.
sorry. I know. I feel bad. And like, I want to help them and I want to take them in, but I don't want cats.
Thank you. I don't really want cats either, but they were very cute. Anyway, let's keep talking about it until we're too bummed out to
Okay. All
say
right.
anything else.
So on a lighter note, I have a question here.
And it's about like heartbreak.
What's
Also
the best
on this episode, Zoe, of what do I look like this week? In the poll below, do I look like the Asbury Park
No,
mascot?
you don't. You look very handsome. We went shorter with your hair again.
Yeah.
And Mike is a new guy. Dude, somebody told him on Saturday night that Mike is all like, I guess, a lot of the female comedians in the community.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say a lot of female comedians. This conversation, realistically, if I'm going to dial back, what I've been doing is talking about how hot I am now that I have a haircut.
Okay.
And it's been a lot of fun to adopt a completely different personality. But if we're going to be completely honest and on the same level, which is the ground, I think it was probably a conversation that happened one or two times between like 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
I don't think it's a
Somebody
female
told
comedy
Mike
community
that he was a
conversation.
good-looking guy.
Boom, and that's all you need. I
But
don't
he's
care.
married.
Yeah. That's the down. There's the guy, but he's married. Yuck.
He's a hot comedian.
I'm a hot comedian.
Oh, he's married.
And that's why people don't really even hear what I say because it's coming out too hot of a head.
So he has adopted this new hot boy status.
I'm leaning in. I'm a hot comedian now. Me, Matt Rife. I guess that's it. So, good luck getting tickets for my shows ever. You could try.
Do you have shows coming up?
Yes.
Why don't we talk about that? He doesn't.
I don't know where the book is.
Okay. All right.
I will find it.
It's right there. It's right there. You guys, okay. So, Mike, question.
Yes.
What's the best wrestling move to throw your younger brother and his friends around in a pool?
You know that by law, I can't answer this.
Why?
Because there's so much of wrestling that's dedicated to don't try this at home. Cannot advocate for manhandling little kids in a pool.
You should RKO
Via-
somebody into the pool,
That's an option.
but
I
handle
wouldn't
with
advise
care.
it.
Yeah, dude, it's like when kids get hurt. My favorite Instagram.
Sure. Which is routinely banned because of how bad of a person you have to be to laugh at that.
I don't know about that.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. The Asbury Park mascot never lies. Lily baby.
Little baby.
Have I destroyed little kids in a pool? Dude, I was a camp counselor for years before there were rules in the early 2000s. And we used to destroy those kids with every wrestling move. But luckily, no one got hurt. And we were only complained about several times. So you got to be careful. As a grown-up now, will not turn a little body that I have not personally created upside down. Because I'm always like, that's an expensive mistake to drop a kid or harm a kid. And I don't have harm a kid money. So
Yeah, no.
Gonna back out. Anyway, on the 11th, which is tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm at the Higher Path. There's a show going on at the Higher Path, and I'll be there in North Park, San Diego. The show is called Big Cheese LLC. I don't remember exactly where it is, other than the fact that it's in North Park, San Diego. I'll be there on the 14th. Why do I drive to San Diego every weekend?
Other day.
Why?
Why?
You tell me. On the 15th, I'll be at a Don't Tell show in Long Beach. On the 18th, I'll be at the Irvine Improv. On the 22nd, we fly to Montreal, and I'll be there for a week. I literally have no idea what I'm doing there for a week. But there is tapings of Surrounded up there that you could buy tickets for. When that ticket link is available, I will tell you about it. So you can come see
I too will be there.
Surrounded Taping in Montreux.
Montreal.
And then on the 4th, me and my friend JF Harris are doing long sets at the Hollywood Improv on August 4th. And please come to see that. There's exactly 65 tickets available for that show.
Fun.
You can get those on improv.com. There's also, thanks to Leah or Leia, whatever her name is, she is always on me to update the MikeFalzone.com date section. And what happens most of the time is that I'll get dates, and they won't give me a ticket link. So it won't let me upload it to the system I use if there's not a ticket link. It won't, because there's no point. So I've been asking all the bookers for ticket links so I could put it up there. Long story short, most, if not all, of these shows should be on MikeFalzone.com. You can buy tickets. Come to see your boy. I'm your boy, Mike Falzone.
Falzone.
Also, if you want kittens, we have the drop on 2 kittens. Not to bring it up.
I have a longer-winded question here.
Do you want this juicy stuff yet? Let's save it to the end.
Let's save it to the end.
Okay. Don't let me forget.
Oh, so this person says, I met someone recently and we hung out 4 times in total. There hasn't been a moment of silence in 24 plus total hours. We have spent, has not been a moment of silence in 24 plus total hours we've spent together. No phones out, not really any awkward silences, and we have a lot in common. I really like this person. I'm poly and have a partner of 4 years that I live with and see myself with for the long haul.
The name is Poly, or they date a lot of people?
They date a lot of people.
Got it.
As a poly person, I see relationships differently than monog people, and told this person I'm ecstatic about whatever relationship that develops.
Make you monog.
Develops into friendships, relationships, situationship, etc. But that said, I have a crush on them and wanted to know if they wanted to go down the romantic relationship path.
Which is down the pants.
They said they are interested, but don't know if they can do poly. It was tried twice in the past, and the guys cheated on her. She said that she didn't want to say no, but she would have to think about it and give me an answer by mid-June.
Dark.
It is now late June. I'm sorry, we're just now getting around to this. Is the fact that it hasn't been brought up, basically her saying it's a no. I don't want to make her uncomfortable by asking again, since if a romantic relationship isn't in the cards, I still desperately want to be friends, since we have truly invigorating conversations about, conversations, but also kind of want a direct answer. Additional context if you care. Are you ready?
That whole thing was additional context.
We are both pansexual. We met at our favorite tea shop. Clearly have political viewpoints.
Such a pansexual place to meet.
Clearly have different political viewpoints, but seem to be able to talk about it. Her much more liberal and me adamant communist. She has been going through a lot. Grandma dying, dog injured recently, grad school, etc. Recently, our third hang, we had a picnic in the park with 0 cell service, and around noon we stayed out until it was pitch black, and we saw a coyote cross by, at which point we hung out in my car for a few hours or so.
Are we good?
We're good.
Okay.
That's that.
So let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, so nice to have really nice conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
Nothing better than meeting someone new and learning that you could talk to them all night. Mm-hmm. That's super duper nice.
Yeah.
And super worth pursuing, as far as, let's see when we can get together and do this again.
Right.
If you brought all this shit up to them about relationship stuff to the point where they're like, that doesn't really work for me. It's happened twice before. I had a bad experience. And then you're not hearing anything in addition to that from them. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to make them be like, oh, I forgot I wanted this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So you're right to think to back it off a little bit. They could not be talking to you because they are now aware that you want something that they don't want, and they don't want the awkwardness of we want different things, but this person might still pursue, which is literally what you're asking if you should do or not.
Right.
So I would make it clear that you're not pursuing that and would just like to talk to them as friends, because that is a nice thing to have.
Right. I think that if you have to keep having these conversations, and if it's not going into like a romantic place,
pants,
you know, that's your answer right there. You know, like they're clearly trying to keep you at a place where it's just a friendship, no romantic relationship.
So make it clear that you're on the same level and enjoy your new friend.
Yeah. Because it's always nice to be able to sit there and like talk to somebody for hours on end.
Yeah.
And feel like, you know, oh, this is the best fucking thing ever.
Do you want to kiss him at some point? Yeah.
Sure. But obviously, they have to be wanting to kiss you too.
They have to want to catch your kiss.
They want to catch it.
Maybe the most succinct answer to anything we've ever answered on this show. Kind of nice.
It is kind of nice.
Maybe we could break it up a little bit with some observations I've made this week.
Me.
I used to do a YouTube series called Things I've Heard People Say This Week. Here's one.
Yes.
I made a TikTok out of it. It did fine. If you ever want to know if strangers think you are overweight, if you ever want to know this, go to a store and ask them what size they think you are. I saw a jacket from this place called Marine Layer, which is like Southern California thing. And it's all reflective of like sunsets and stuff like that. All my favorite things. So I wanted to get this jacket that I only saw online. The jacket was discounted online. So I'm like, this shit's not going to be in the store. But I would love to see it in the store because I would love to see if I'm a large or an extra large. I went to the store. They didn't have it in the store, but she was like, I can order it for you. I said, I really wish you could have it here so I could try it on because I'm between these two sizes, large and extra large. And she looked back at me and she goes, you're extra large. You're an extra large. And I said, you sure? She goes, And I said, I'll pay twice as much as the shirt costs for you to think about it for a second. I'll pay double. It's 30% off. I'll pay double if you take a beat.
I'll give you an extra $500 if you took a second.
Yeah.
And maybe measured.
I'll put $500 in your pocket. Marine Layer never has to see that $500.
Never.
If you could just take a breath.
If you could just maybe not make me feel extra large.
So that's what happened.
That's
I
rude.
also heard somebody say, this was in Del Mar, which I had a show. Shout out Kimball's. I had a show to like 250 to 60-year-olds in Del Mar. And it was a fun experience. I don't know if I did great. And then I went to Madhouse afterwards in San Diego and bombed my dick off. But I think I did a proficient job. And I got there early because you have to, because it's San Diego and you go into a deep vortex on the way down there, depending on what time you take off from Los Angeles. And when I got down there, I was walking around and the area is so nice and you hear people having conversation. And one guy turns to the person that they're with and says, at least we didn't experience any aging. And I've been thinking about what that conversation could have been about for a couple days now. Do you have any guesses?
I mean, people are aging every day.
Yeah, every second of every day.
Yes.
That has ever happened. If you're experiencing it, unless you're in different dimension.
Right.
Which then opens up the palette of questions that we could have about this interaction.
Intergalactic.
They are aliens
Oh.
dressed as rich white people from Del Mar.
Yeah. And they choose to be 65-year-olds?
And they choose to just be walking around. At least we didn't experience any aging.
I feel like you experienced aging in a few different ways, right?
Just by being
Hear me
around.
out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Yes, by being around them, you experienced their age, right?
Yeah.
And then as time goes by, you're also experiencing aging. I'm experiencing it right now in this moment.
I've
this
aged
second.
trying to figure out what's happening in this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, do we have another question?
No, but I do want I want the update.
Okay, so this is an update from Aaron, who will remain anonymous. Fuck, it's not going to let me do the robot voice, so now I have to read. But this is what it sounds like in my head when I read out loud, just so you know, because I'm a dyslexic guy. Okay. I have an update. Mike and Zoe, this is Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
First thing, no need to read this on the pod.
Totally reading it on the pod, Aaron.
I want to express how grateful I am to both of you guys for doing this podcast, especially Mike with the walk and talks back in the day, back when they had such an impact on me and helped me with stressful growing up part of life. Dude, that's all I wanted when I did them. So thank you for watching those. And I'm glad you found this podcast. Lost my place. You were a rock, Johnson. And I'm so glad to see your success. You deserve it so much. That's very nice. I shouldn't have read that part. Here's the question. This is the part that we should have read. Pretend we didn't read any of the other stuff. That's just for me.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's the question. I've been a casual dater for a long time for a bunch of reasons that we won't get into. Always the case. I've recently started seeing a very cool, very blunt lady, and we've had a very open conversation about wanting to get serious with our next partners.
But not the one that...
Their next one.
Yeah, not the one
Not
that
the
they're
current
in.
one.
Yeah, okay.
Man, you guys just missed each other.
Yeah.
There's also an expressed mutual interest, but it feels extremely premature to say anything more because we're meeting for our first date in a couple days.
Wow.
Assuming I don't eat shit, I hope that there will be a second, a third, and so on. Fourth,
Years.
fifth date,
A year anniversary
six
date.
dates, 7. What advice would you have
10.
for son? 10, 8,
22.
9, 7.
Imagine if you dated somebody and like just numbered all of your dates and like wrote down exactly what.
No joke, dude. I was at a Don't Tell show. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I said, "How long have you been dating?" And they said, 34 months.
No.
And I said, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You've been dating for an infant." What advice, 7, would you have for someone that's going through this process where you feel that deeper level of connection and alignment for basically the first time, especially pre-meeting? Interesting. I'm trying to stay in the moment and not overthink everything, but wish me luck. And then, so that was June 9th. On June 12th, update, the date happened. It went great. So any advice is doubly valuable.
Interesting.
June 18th, I said I'll bring it up on the show. It's July 10th.
Yes.
Oops.
Shout out one time to my baby sister.
Shout
her
out.
Birthday.
Turts.
That's
Not even close to being done.
Oh.
I said, glad the date went well. They, Aaron, said, thank you. We're officially exclusive as of yesterday. Things are moving kind of fast, but we're both on board, and it's well communicated what we're looking for, and the alignment is there. It was kind of a swept her off her feet from the get-go, moaning in her eyes, so the point might probably be moot. But I think it's still worth talking about. Thanks again for all of your wisdom and levity over the years. Hope to see you next time you're in MPLS, Minneapolis. Minneapolis. That's
So
great.
that's kind
Now
of
you're in a
fun though.
relationship.
Like, so they did pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, they both know what they want. See,
what
like
advice would you have given them?
I mean, be yourself.
Keep spending time together if you like spending time together.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think so many people feel like they have to put on like this, like, facade for people when they're first going out and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, dude, just be yourself and see where it goes. Like, I know it's easier said than done, and it's like a nerve-wracking thing to date. But if you take like the stress of it out and just go and have fun,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be in a better place. Like, I never really, like, sure, I got a little bit nervous for dates and stuff, but it was never a thing where I was so nervous that I couldn't like really function or like ruined a date because of it. Like, I've seen people do it with me, you know, but also I've seen people just once they realize that it's not anything that's like, we're just getting to know each other. Like, let's be friends first.
That's why dating is great when you're older.
Yeah.
Because though it might be harder to find what you're looking for because your stuff that you're looking for is so like whittled down by that point and specific, it also makes it easier. And you're tired of like, I remember in my early 20s how I would go out, and late teens as well, I would go out and be like, what do I want this person to know about what I have going on right now? What is like the right combination of stuff you could say so that I'm better than like all their other options at the current moment? And then you get older and you get tired, and then you're like, you're the best when you're just yourself.
Right.
And that's nothing to... Don't be bummed out about that because you don't know who you are for a long time.
Right.
You might have all this like questioning and apprehension about just letting go and being yourself because you don't know exactly what that is.
Right.
But, you know, literally just relaxing and being yourself, it might not work out with everybody. But once you get cool with like rejection, and once you get to be in a place where it's like, where we don't work, and it's more that like I'm bummed out that that it didn't work. It's like we didn't work because we're not gonna work.
Right.
Like soon or eventually. So once you get cool with that, then everything becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, I think
like sometimes
dating.
you go out. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just I know I already said this, but it's a feeling that I remember very well. It's like you go out and maybe it's been a couple weeks or months since your last date, and you're like, man, I hope this one works out. And then you put, I hope this one works out above, is it actually working out? And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be sad more than let's be ourselves and see if we actually have a good time together.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that's something that I haven't thought of since my early 20s, because then you figure out that you could get the best results by just being yourself. And you're like, why did I do all that other shit? What a waste of time. And then mentally I wanted to distance myself from that. Same thing with like being insecure. It's like, yeah, insecurity comes and goes always, but I had such a hard time being secure for a long time. And then once I had it, I pushed all that shit away. Pushed like insecure people away because they reminded me of myself at that time.
Yeah.
And it's like you push how you were away. And but it's nice to revisit that stuff because then you get some perspective on how far you've come.
Yeah. I mean, I think I haven't thought about like really dating somebody like that, obviously, since I've met you, you know, like, but I do remember how awkward some of those dates were. And I was like, okay, this is definitely not what I need in my life, you know?
You're interesting because you're really confident, and you're an incredible judge of character, and you're very much yourself, but you also can get nervous.
Yeah.
And there's almost nothing in between.
Yeah.
It's like a little toggle switch.
But I never felt really nervous during like a date unless I like had a huge crush on this person, you know?
Yeah. That's the same thing with me is now being hot. I find that I'm not really nervous around people. Because a lot of people, I don't know if you've noticed, but you look around at these people and they just look like people. You know what I mean? I'm looking around, I'm seeing people on the street and I'm like, there's one. You know? And then I look in a mirror and I'm like, what the fuck? Is that a window to heaven? No, it's just a mirror. Anyway, so it is, you know, if I was around me, I'd be nervous.
You guys, as you know, patreon.com is a virtual tipping and rewards website.
I wonder how long this is going to last.
What do you mean?
Feeling like this.
Our $10 group gets a shout out, and that goes a little something like this. Mr. Howard, Jay the Fifth, Catherine Connor, Ryan Cruteau, Rusty Coal Miner, just got married.
Whoa, what the fucking shit? Congratulations.
Joseph Capricusio, Shannon Haynes, Ernesto, Raja Knows, Luis and Odette, Lauren Chauncey, Paul Gilliam, Derek Helling, Steve Diergo, Chris McCarthy, Trevor the Weirfishy, Happy Birthday Starlight, JJ McToots, Rachel Last Name, Alan Garcia, Connie Tryon, Mr. Potato Falzone.
Come on, dude. That's not... And no
Foul
one's
Nose.
laughing
I'm sorry.
No,
Foul
come on.
Nose. Foul Nose.
No one is laughing at Foul Nose. Mr. Potato Head Foul Nose. I'm a person.
Antero Baez, Frankie Matos Music, Johnny Rosito Handcrafted Neckwear, Christening.
Christening. What's the difference between a christening and a baptism? Christening.
CCPB&J.
Christening.
Admin. Emily Paget is engaged, you guys. Congratulations to them. Caleb Perkins, Giant Tom Hanks, Lizzie Love.
Good luck
Gavin
on the
Welsh.
baptism of your relationship. Relationship.
Lizzie Love, Gavin Welsh. Someone tell Aaron, Jackie Hammond, birthday page. Happy birthday. Guy with long hair, Chris Johnson. Anna got a new car. Congratulations.
Beep, 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 beep.
Benjamin Putz, Beth Bush, Christina Camille, Josh Cadote, Michael Johnson, Kayla Johnston, Jules Run, Grant Levasseur, Chad Clark, What is Cat, Katie Taylor, Shane Welsh, Joe Ban, Milky Beans, Jess Enright, Lillian Carrillo, Magnus Silva, Barrington Lloyd Lovett, Ben Fuchs, Theodorus Carambellis, Janisha Tutton, Danny Sinclair, Jacob D. Bradford, Justine Beebestein, Josh, Sergeant Sapardi. He likes to party. Ed Birch, Helen Ford, Illumino, Superfloss, it's Tatania Day. Danielle Di Verona, Dev Rabavro, Jesse Stillwell, Katie Lee G, Rob Devereux. Yeah. Don Bior, Nestor De Leon III, Alexander Legowski, Felicia Shambari, and Matthew J. Palka. You guys, have a great week. Bye.